There have been a bunch of rumors and reports regarding the Raptors over this last little while, which unfortunately, because of my schedule, I haven't been able to get to until today. It is time for a roundup, and that's what we're gonna do today. What's up, everybody? It's JJ Buckets. I've told you what we're doing, so usual drill at the start of these videos. Obviously, make sure you're leaving a like. Goes a long way in the algorithm. I appreciate it every time. Subscribe if you're new here. Plus, if you plan on doing any responsible sports betting in the near future, you know what to do. Check out the link in my description below. Let's get this out of the way first. The Raptors are not a good basketball team. The pieces don't fit together well. The roster construction sucks. And things over the past few years, including the inaction of potential moves or some potential signings, etc., there's no fruition to what's going on. The Raptors are trending in the wrong direction, and by God, as somebody that's been sitting there asking for this team to rebuild for at least a healthy amount of time now, we're close to that. We're there. Let's be real about that. We are there. Oh, but JJ, if they move Pascal Siakam, then they're going to be like the worst offense in the league. Yeah, you're not trying to be good. Again, rebuild. That's the idea. And I think that's the idea of any of these rumors. Like, come on. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the rumors. So the first team that's come up with Raptors stuff recently in terms of like being linked to them in the rumors are the Miami Heat, which I find interesting. The first report here says that the Miami Heat are looking to kick the tires on a potential Pascal Siakam trade, even if the fit isn't perfect. And to go with that, there's a second report that they're also potentially eyeing OG Anunoby. So realistically, they're looking at them both, seeing, I'm guessing, what the value is and seeing if they can acquire one or the other. I want to run through a couple of things with these rumors, with this one in particular, starting with just the idea of trading with Miami. I don't know how much you love any of the assets that Miami really has to offer outside of, like, they're not going to give you their rookie. I think you saw in the Dame trade talks that Miami is stingy. Is that a shocker to anybody? Miami is a stingy team to trade with, and in that regard, they're going to be a tough trade partner as it is. And quite honestly, any Miami rumor regarding the Raptors is going to come down to how you value Tyler Hero as an asset and as a prospect. If you like Tyler Hero, you might not hate the return that you could get for a guy like OG Anunoby or Pascal Siakam. So in that sense, that's up to your interpretation of what's your opinion of Tyler Hero. Do you feel like he could thrive in a role here, potentially develop? If you do, you probably don't hate a trade with Miami. If you don't, you're probably not really looking at this one all excitedly. The next one is from Shams, and there are 3 teams reportedly linked to the Toronto Raptors in a potential either Pascal Siakam or OG Anunoby trade. Those 3 teams are the Sacramento Kings, it's the Indiana Pacers, and it's the Atlanta Hawks. Let's keep it brief here with the Hawks. We've seen it during the offseason. Have things changed since then in terms of, you know, are the Raptors maybe a little more desperate or wanting to get rid of somebody like Pascal? Maybe, and maybe that gets a deal done, but ultimately you've been there, you've done that, it didn't happen, so are you really jumping at the bit to like get that one going again? I don't know about that one. Let me know in the comment section. Atlanta's kind of whatever. Like, they got some interesting prospects and some assets that you can probably talk yourself into, but overall, eh. The other 2 teams that you can look at are maybe a little bit more interesting, you know, regarding the Sacramento Kings and the Indiana Pacers. I think when it comes to the Pacers, that's definitely the most interesting team you can probably trade with. They have plenty of young assets, and depending on how you leverage things, you could really get some exciting young prospects back from that team. Maybe a little draft capital as well to go with it. So like, I think as far as the list of teams here goes, like, your most ideal trading partner is probably the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, with Tyrese Halliburton there and playing at the level that he's playing at, the Pacers want to be competitive, right? Like, Tyrese Halliburton has what looked like a top 15 player in the NBA this season. That could even be a little conservative. I always think Tyrese has been that dude. The Pacers were a playoff team last year, but this year in particular, like, not only is he that dude, like, he's that other dude that's maybe even better than you thought that dude was. Great analogy, great wordplay, I know, thank you. So obviously with that regard, with the Pacers being as solid as they are, I mean, they were just in the in-season tournament finals, maybe they're looking at themselves and thinking, hey, we're a lot further along than we think we are, and a guy like OG Anunoby or Pascal Siakam can really help us get even further to our goal. I think that's the mindset from Indiana, and if you're Toronto, you know, you're looking at guys like Mathurin, you're looking at guys like Nembhard, who they could have had potentially in the draft, but story for another day. You're looking at young guys like that, and just, you can really talk yourself into an Indiana trade. I don't think that takes a lot of effort. As far as the Kings go, there's, I'd say, at least a little bit to like there as well. I think obviously the main centerpiece of any trade with the Kings that you would want is Keegan Murray. If Keegan Murray is not on the table, yeah, I don't know how long of a conversation that is with the Sacramento Kings, but yeah, I take it for what it is. Again, like if Keegan's there, you don't feel bad about making that move whatsoever, especially if it is for like Pascal Siakam, who is on the expiring contract. And again, like this team as it is currently constructed is really not working. So if you're, you know, unfortunately bidding adieu to Pascal's time here in Toronto, which if you don't think he's going to re-sign in the offseason, please let's not have a repeat of the Fred VanVleet situation where he just walks for nothing. Trade him. Like, can it be much more simple than that? If you're not going to retain that asset, get assets back. Of all the teams listed, clearly I would say I would be the most intrigued about a trade with the Pacers. There's a lot of talent there on the Pacers that you could plug into the Raptors and excite yourself about, you know, the potential future. And yes, with any of these trades, you are probably not going to be a good team. You are not going to be a good team, and that is the point, folks. You are embracing, you know, building around Barnes, moving towards the future, obviously all that good stuff, because it is good stuff, right? Like rebuilds work. Not always, but rebuilds work. And quite frankly, again, as somebody that has been looking at the Raptors and thinking they should have rebuilt at the very least since last year's deadline when they were oddly buyers, I'm personally ready to embrace it. What do you folks think? Tell me your thoughts on the rumors. Tell me your thoughts on a rebuild, all that stuff. Sorry if I haven't been super active on this channel right now. Between school and other stuff, I am busy, I am tired, but I still want to be making videos when I can. I saw a pocket of availability to make this video today, and those rumors are fresh enough that I want to talk about them, and hopefully you found it interesting. So yeah, that was today's video. If you're still watching this, usual drill, folks, just make sure you're leaving a like on the video. It really does help the algorithm. I know I say it all the time. I really know I say it all the time, but I really do mean it every time I say it. So hit that like button. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Other than that, folks, it's been JJ Buckets. It has been a pleasure, and I will see everybody next time.